Friday, February 3. The three-step process of debt elimination is actually found on one page of Ellen G. White's writings. Emphasis has been added to highlight the points. Be determined never to incur another debt. Deny yourself 1,000 things rather than run in debt. This has been the curse of your life, getting into debt. Avoid it as you would the smallpox. Make a solemn covenant with God that by his blessing you will pay your debts, and then owe no man anything if you live on porridge and bread. Do not falter, be discouraged, or turn back. Deny your taste, deny the indulgence of appetite, save your pence, and pay your debts. Work them off as fast as possible. When you can stand forth a free man again, owing no man anything, you will have achieved a great victory. And that's from Counsels on Stewardship, page 257. And this is a personal letter written to a literature evangelist or colporteur who was running up major debts with no way to pay for those debts, and Ellen White was giving him specific counsel. Something for us to listen to, I guess. If you need additional help to become debt-free, try these points. Establish a budget. Make a simple budget for keeping a record of all your income and expenses, purchases over a period of 3 months. Many are surprised to learn how much money they spend on unnecessary items. Destroy credit cards. Credit cards are one of the major causes of family indebtedness. They are so easy to use and so hard to pay off. If you find that you aren't paying off the cards in total each month, or that you are using them to purchase items that you would not otherwise have bought, you should destroy your credit cards before they destroy you or your marriage, or both. Begin economic measures. Sometimes we aren't aware of how much we could save on our monthly expenses just by being careful about some of the small things that we purchase. They quickly add up. And that brings us to our 3 discussion questions for this week. 1. The amount of debt that many nations as well as individuals have taken upon themselves is staggering. What has been your own experience with debt and the problems that debt has created for you or others? 2. What could your local church do to help members learn to manage debt or financial issues in general? 3. What are some Bible promises that you can claim to help protect yourself from the lure of the world and the financial dangers greediness can pose to us? And now it's time for our mission story for this week, read by my niece Sibylla, who, like me, is also a volunteer. Thank you, Sibylla.
Troubled Boy to Church Elder by Sharon Milovu. Edmund was a troubled child in Mzuzu, Malawi. He refused to obey his parents, teachers, or any other adult. At school, he hit the other boys and even the teachers. He gained such a fearful reputation that children and adults alike were scared of him. One day, Edmund decided that it would be fun to disrupt the Pathfinder Club. He took his unruly friends to Chasefu Seventh-day Adventist Church, and they mocked the marching and singing Pathfinders. Edmund enjoyed seeing the Pathfinders react, so he and his friends returned week after week. But as the weeks passed, Edmund became interested in Pathfinder activities. He wanted to know more about what the children were doing and what they believed. When the church organised evangelistic meetings at Mzuzu Stadium, he decided to go, but he did not tell his friends for fear that they would laugh at him. He also did not tell his parents, who belonged to another Christian denomination, because he worried that they might punish him. At the meetings, Edmund fell in love with the God of heaven and the Lord of the seventh-day Sabbath. Even though he was afraid that the Adventist children and adults whom he had mistreated so terribly would reject him, he summoned up the courage and gave his heart to Jesus in baptism. His parents found out about the baptism 4 months later, and they immediately disowned the boy. Edmund stayed in the homes of church members, and they taught him more about the Bible until he became well versed in its teachings. He also worked odd jobs to pay required fees so he could stay in school. 3 years passed. Edmund's parents saw that he was faithful to God. They saw that he had become a new creature in Christ, and they asked him to return home. Today, Edmund Chicheri is married to an Adventist wife, and they have 2 sons. He also serves as an elder at Chasufu Seventh-day Adventist Church, the place where he used to torment the Pathfinders. He says that only God could have transformed the troubled schoolboy into a church elder. Never look down on children, no matter how bad behaved they may be, he said. Thank you for your 2021 13th Sabbath offering that is helping to construct a community outreach and leadership development centre on the Mzuzu campus of Malawi Adventist University, so more boys and girls, men and women, can learn about the transforming power of Jesus in Edmund's hometown and beyond in the Southern Africa-India Ocean Division. This quarter's offering will support 6 more educational projects in the neighbouring East Central Africa Division.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful. And here is a disclaimer. Contents of these lessons are not intended to be financial advice, but is general commentary based on biblical principles. The reader is encouraged to seek competent professional advice which will suit their particular personal situation.